So hi, welcome back to another video. I do apologize for another massive gap between my last video and this one. So a lot has changed. Again, also I'm really sorry I look horrendous. It's my day off before work tomorrow, and our yeah, it's just kind of a relaxing day, so I don't really care at the minute for looks, if that, I think we've all been there before. Probably more often than not. So yeah, just kind of want to do this video. As you can see from the title, it's kind of down to the main topic of owning animals, which as an autistic individual, it is my main special interest. For a lot of people who are on the spectrum, a lot of their interests probably involve more like, objects. So it's a little bit more easier to kind of manage compared to your interest being living creatures, because with my interest obviously involves the care and upkeep, time and money I put in, which is more demanding than some special interests of people on the spectrum, that you can just go out, get what you want, get your collectible item, and you put it where you want in your room or your house, and that's it. There's not much more to it apart from the odd dusting it, or, if you do go the extra mile to keep it very, very clean and maintainable, fair enough. But in terms of my special interest being more, it's more work to it. I always had a main interest in animals for years. I've had miniature ponies in the past, of all sorts of kind of animals over the years, that eventually the upkeep, mentally and financially, just got the better of me, and I had to walk away from it. I had to let them go to a better home. Even though I was praised everywhere from every corner that I was given the best life I possibly could. And looking back, I really was. I was on top of everything I was doing, but my own time for myself was something I was never really familiar with. Now with working part-time, I have the time, but I don't have the finances to keep it up. And also with working part-time, it allows me more time for myself, for more time to focus on me. And I don't know how to do that if that's not filled with animals, which is something that I'm realizing I need to work on. I am well aware that animals are my main priority, but it cannot be it can't be number one over my health and everything else. I do have other special interests, like I do a big interest in crystals, and witchycraft stuff. I love collecting Sylvanians. Gone back into something I used to have as a kid, which were Bratz dolls. So I'm kind of getting that back up and running. I'm only at a collection of 4. I have all the 4 girls. Add to that, my Sylvanians used to be very, very large. Mainly, along with families, it was mainly the houses and the sets. But I realised I don't really have the space for the sets, and I actually do prefer just the families. They are just more my thing. I like just having all the cute little families. So I have reduced my numbers of them massively, I think last year or something. So I've sold a good bit, and I've kind of kept the ones that are, some of them are from Japan only. So I have the lavender rabbits, I have the Japanese original sea breeze family. I also have the UK sea breeze family, and already looking at the two, there's a massive difference. I basically mainly have a lot of the collectible families that you don't get in your regular toy shop. And then I have an odd few that I fell in love with, like the new one that's out, the snow leopard. So pretty. So I have some of them. Also a big fan of plushies, Hello Kitty. I also just recently got the Autistic Barbie doll. I made some adjustments. Here she is. She is meant to have long hair down to her. Actually, I don't know what her length of hair was before. As you can see, I cut it off. It was down to like her lower back. I think she had long jet black or jet brown hair. I think it's more black. I still have her dress she came with. So she had purple little sandals or pom-poms, and then she had like a purple dress that was striped. I'm not one for dresses, so as you can see, I did spend the extra bob to go out and buy a Barbie specific outfit. You can buy like the outfit separately. So it was a 2-pack, but the outfit with it as well was a dress, which I'm not going to use either. So it was kind of hard to find exactly what I was looking for. There was a tracksuit that I really wanted to get my hands on, but I think the top anyway was more like a crop jumper, which again is not something I'd wear. I don't like crop stuff. Let things be its full length, because it just triggers me. I can't. I keep trying to pull at it. I used to think it was a body issue of mine. It isn't. It's just a sensory thing. Let my top, go the whole way down like it's meant to. So I actually quite liked this outfit. All the rest that were in the shop were all dresses, like what was remaining, because they were actually pretty nearly sold out of them. So I think I got the last one of this. So I got the one then that had the little pants, has a little sleeveless jumper to go with it. I'm not a big fan of it, but look, it's not a dress and it's not like a belly top or something, so it's fine. And it comes with these little clogs or little loafs. What are they called? Oh, I forget the name of what they're actually usually called. Clogs? No, clogs, not clogs. I don't know what they're called. Little loaf shoes? Is that what they're called? I don't know. Little slip-ons. I usually wear them going to an interview, job interview. So I know I know what these shoes are like, and it's close enough. I mean, they're more comfortable than the sandals that she did come with. So it is nearly close enough to what I wear. Obviously I have her little fidget toy with her. Still kept the box. She has another, like a little tablet that you can if you don't, some autistic people don't talk, struggle with communicating, so they use a tablet to press what they're looking for. It's not something I use, so I kept it in the box. It's okay, it's in the drawer. But I just kind of kept out what I would normally use. So I do use the fidget toy, and I would use the headphones, or their ear defenders, whatever way. I'm calling them headphones because that's what I would wear, listen to music. But I do occasionally going into places, like my headphones are charging at the minute, so I would occasionally put in the loop earplugs. I don't have the ear defenders, like the full massive head ear defenders. Mine are either the actual headphones, they're not AirPods, they're the actual proper headphones for music, or else I do the little earplugs. They're the kind of two I mainly use. But I just think she looks actually remotely like me. I try to give her the side pattern like mine, but I follow people on YouTube that collect dolls and they do the hair so nice. I don't know how I can do it. So I just kind of stuck with what I did. It's a bit weird back there, but I mean it's close enough to what my hair usually is. I'm not gonna go out with a shaver and try like shave the cut that I get. So I'm happy enough with the way she looks. Like I said, this is not exactly what the doll looks like. Like I said, she does have long hair and she does come with a dress. But I bought this doll myself from Amazon and I just wanted to replicate her like me in some way. I think it's the closest for the moment I'm going to get her to. As long as she wasn't wearing a dress and the long hair, I was happy enough. So yeah, quite happy with the doll. It's a spectrum, obviously, autism. And yeah, it might be a few years' time be a collectible doll. But right now, I'm not really a collector of Barbie dolls. I never really. Might have one or two as a kid, but I think my main one as a kid was Bratz. I had Bratz shoes, I had a Bratz radio. I love Bratz. So Bratz is what I'm going to be collecting. I just wanted the one Bratz doll or Barbie doll that was clearly made for me in a weird way. We got my sister for her 21st birthday? No, 18th birthday, I can't remember. We got her the diabetic Barbie. She's type 1 diabetic. So she kept her doll the same way it came. I mean, she has long hair and she occasionally wears a dress. Not that she's any interest anyway of doing the doll up, but for me, I wanted to just tweak it a bit so it looks kind of like me. Definitely not a hairdresser though. The hair is shocking. But anyway, going off of that, And on the main topic at hand, so I was meant to follow up my last video with updating you on the rest of my animals, such as the rabbits and the guinea pigs. So everyone is now understanding of this situation. It's not something I thought I'd end up in again, since I was in this situation a few years back. But I guess now that I know what's going on with me mentally and everything going on, and the fact that with my animals, as much as I love them, I was hitting burnout quite often with two of my main animals, which were the rabbits and the guinea pigs. They are definitely not a beginner pet. They need ideally twice a day to be spot cleaned. And it was something that I just heavily got stressed out over. As well as that, there's always that health risk that they might fall ill literally within like an hour. They could just straight away stop eating, and it's dangerous if they stop eating. It's not like a dog or a cat that stops eating. Give it another day, they might come back eating to be fine. These guys, if they're not eating, they can just, the worst can happen for them, because their gut needs to be constantly moving. So I just felt, and on top of that, we were talking about growing our own vegetables for in the summertime. But for the moment, I was obviously having to go out and buy them, and I was basically every second day buying more veg, because the lettuce was just going so quick, on top of the guinea pigs and the rabbits. So I made the hard decision, like I did a few years back, and decided to rehome them. Look, this video is going to be on YouTube, and I'm well aware I have no choice but to be open to criticism and hate and whatever. I understand that. But I just wanted to be open and transparent with this video. I do want to continue YouTube. I'm not sure if it's ever going to be popular. I don't know whether, if it's just going to be a little side hobby that I do and not many people look at it, or if it does hit off. But I'd rather me being open and honest from the very beginning, and just being clear that yes, I did have to let the rabbits and guinea pigs go. The rabbits I let off to a lovely home who are going to let them free roam their whole house. And during the summer, they have a full secure garden of grass that they can run around and eat. So it's amazing. My two only had one room to come in, or only had the one room to play in. And my cat was basically being locked out of the room during the day because one of them found out how to use a cat flap and would escape. So my poor cat had to be locked out, and it was her room from the very, very beginning. So I felt it would make more sense giving the two bunnies more room, and they're open to explore, and my cat can have her room back and have the cat flap open all day like it used to. The guinea pigs also made that very, very hard decision. I had to wash the fleece once a week. And because there was 4 of them, there was 4 times the poo. So it took a lot out of me. I would go into that, and I can't say I'm a neat freak, because my room will be organized, but it's an organized chaos or organized mess. But going into that room every day, it was never peaceful for me, because I walk in and there was just mess every time. Which is what you're going to expect from animals, obviously. But just the situation, and in between that, my nanny up the road, who has a dog, I was meaning to wash at Christmas, and I've been postponing it because, God bless the dog, it's a Jack Russell, and it's a lovely, lovely dog, but it has a very, very high hunt drive. So it just was a very, very stressful situation. And I just figured it was time to let them go. At that point, we obviously, as a family, we have a family dog, and we have 2 ducks that are from the family, that, the family pay, or more my parents pay the money for the family dog for his dinner and all. I get it at my place of work, and it's one of our top end foods. It's really, really good. We don't like I do want all my animals to have the best of the best. So with my discount and work and all, that's where I get his food. And the ducks, well, sure, the ducks are fine the way they are. So they're fine. But as me as an individual, the animals I owned came out as a whopping 8. I had 8 animals I had to look after as someone who's only doing part-time, who's trying to split money up between funding my car, funding my savings, funding my counselling, which was once a week or once a month. Many, many things I had to take into account. And there was no point in me every year going, oh, I'm not bothered going on holidays. Because, like, don't get me wrong, I will happily every year just stay at home. Like, I don't have a desire to go out, and travel, because I just like my own routine. But I even if I decided I wanted to, I had kind of no room to, because I need to find someone to look after my pets, along with the fact I have no money to fund for a holiday. So my numbers of animals, my own animals now, has gone from 8 to 2. So I have my cat, who now has the room back, and she is over the moon. I have since got my nanny's dog in and give the dog a really good bath, so it was well needed. And I obviously have my hamster. It works for me now. I think it'll always only work for me. Like I did in the past, I thought I could make the rabbits and guinea pigs work again, because I did miss owning them. I missed the guinea pigs talking to me and everything. But at the end of the day, people don't realize that rabbits and guinea pigs do fall under the exotic pet category, like the hamster. They all fall under exotic. They need very, very complex needs and time and money, and I don't have that. I just don't have that. I'm able to put now my cat back. Not that she was on bad food to begin with, but I can put her back on the food that I had said from the very, very beginning when I got her as a kitten. I have her now back on that food, and it's just nice. She's on the same food as my dog, obviously the cat version, which is all grain free, very, really, really high in meat. And I'm just happy. Her coat, like everyone around here has said, her coat is so shiny and glossy. And my hamster, I still made a very, very good decision on giving Nigel to my friend, who is still loving him. I was just at his yesterday. I was giving him back my old wheel that Nigel had. So Nigel now has that wheel back, not the cardboard. It was a mesh wheel, but there was cardboard in the inside so that he won't get bumblefoot. But sure, with him peeing on the cardboard, it was becoming quite disgusting. So he now has my plastic Trixie wheel back, which is brilliant. So he is still going to upgrade the enclosure very soon. So I'm really excited for him to do that. And my Syrian hamster bear, sorry. Oh, yawning. Yeah, I love him. He only comes out around 12 o'clock at night, but he'll be up till about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, which is brilliant. I call his I have the camera set up right inside of his enclosure. My dad had to get a new one. So I have it right in the enclosure, which is just amazing. The camera will go off in the middle of the night saying that there's movement, and I go into it and I'll be able to talk to him. I mean, he's in the room with me anyway. I don't have to talk to the camera microphone, but I can talk to him just as normal. And I can see him just on his wheel, stopping running and just standing up and listening to me talking to him. He comes out to my hand all the time. He takes treats off my hands. I'm able to rub him. We're not at the stage of him getting in my hand just yet, but we're getting there. But I just love him. He is so funny. Was just in IKEA yesterday and I got a plastic. I'm so sorry. What? Like meant to be like a storage container, but I put it down the bedding and it's where his cocoa soil is. So it's filled really, really high with soil, moss, leaves. It was only put in there last night and he was eyeing it all night. He was too scared to go to it. And just this morning at like 7 o'clock, I checked the camera. He just bravened himself up and got in. And he was digging, he was pouching all the sticks and the moss for his nest. It was just fabulous to see. I have grow your own grass thing. It's for cats. But it's still grass, so it still works for small animals. I just haven't found the small animal one in a long time, but the cat one is just the same. So that is growing over by my window. I have a little spray bottle, and that'll be going into him very, very soon once that's at its ideal length. It's meant to have grown in 4 days, but we're gone over the 4 days, so I don't know. But then again, it's been so gloomy, haven't had much sun, so it's probably that reason. So yeah, once that's grown, it's going to go in there too, into his dig box, and he's going to have some grass to gnaw and chew on. Yeah, I just love the man. I love the man. So yeah, sucking in a yawn again. I'm so sorry. So that's kind of my video. I guess discussing the reality of pet ownership, especially when you're on the spectrum, especially when you're autistic. Even when you're doing part-time and you think I have all the time now in the world, you do to a degree, but even with your special interest, especially involving animals, like people say, you still always have a certain amount of spoons, which I also go by in terms of energy level. Social situations, you have a set amount of spoons, and if they're all used up by the social event, you're going to be dissociating, you're going to be mute, you won't be able to communicate as much as you want to. Some cases, like myself, I will find I cry more, I get more emotional, because I'm hitting that stage where it's at my limit. So I'm the very same with the animals, and it sucks. It really does suck when it's your special interest, but animals being your special interest still takes effect on your spoons, the set amount of spoons you have for the day. And when it's used up all the time you look after them, and obviously you need to do that every day for their lives, every day for their, every day while you own them, it's very rare you're going to have a full pack of spoons left by the end of the week. Between them, when you do, like I said, I only have 3 days I work. On top of that, it all adds up. So I didn't want to see that my animals were very similar to me going to work or going to a social outing. I didn't want to see that my animals were that equivalent. I wanted to see the animals as my downtime, me wanted to enjoy their company. But some of my animals, their level of care was the same as me going to work. It's the same as me going to a concert that I haven't gone to a concert in I don't know how long, but it's the same thing. And I did not want to see that, because animals to me are my life. But sadly, some animals I've had, and in this case just had, are the very, very same. And for your mental health and for everything for myself, it just wasn't working. It sucks. It's oh man, it's really bad. It's it's really disheartening to know that some animals I just don't think I'll ever be able to own and look after for full-time care for them for the for the rest of their life, because it just eats away at my energy. Some, obviously, to everyone who has them, they're fine, especially people who are not on the spectrum. They're like, no, I'm fine with it. Yeah, that's fair. But when you're on the spectrum, especially when you're neurodivergent, especially, you're more sensitive to things like that, where your energy gets removed very quickly on you, whereas to someone else it mightn't. My care for them weren't adding spoons to my level, they were removing spoons from my level, which is something I don't want. No one wants. I've made adjustments to where I work and how many hours I do, and sadly it took a while to realise I need to do the same for animals as well. So yeah, it is a pain. It is a pain. It's like realizing that, you know, a certain hobby or a certain makeup or certain anything just doesn't work for you. It's like realizing, oh my God, I'm actually like allergic to this said food when you were trying to eat it for so long to try and make yourself not allergic, but sometimes you just are and there's nothing you can do. So I know with the lower level of care, now there is still a good level of care and maintenance in the likes of the hamster and my cat. Nothing is ever going to be a kid friendly pet. Um, there is such thing as a beginner pet, I want to say. Um, like for beginner people who want to, if they've never owned a pet in their life, a lot of them go down the road of owning a dog, owning a cat, owning a fish. It's kind of a good starting point. Now you still need to give them the exact requirements they need. Like if you're getting a fish, do not get a fish bowl. Get a massive tank. Get a filter going. If it's a tropical fish, get a heater in there. Get everything right. If you start seeing algae building up, get rid of that algae. Don't let it build up because the fish is just going to go on you. So there's still obviously different levels to that. But maintaining a fish tank compared to maintaining 4 guinea pigs, 2 rabbits, horses, it's vastly different. And it's finding out what animal works for me. And I love my cat. She basically disappears for the whole day and comes back in the evening where I lock her in and I pet her, and I've have different treat puzzles that she has to figure out how to get her treat out, which she loves it. And I didn't think she would, but she loves it. She's not a big toy cat. Like, she's not obsessed over toys. She loves her odd little laser pointer. The odd time if she's loads of energy, she does like her little cat wand, but very rarely. I mainly try to throw that in there so she's not scratching me all the time, because I am plastered to the nines on my hands of cuts. But that puzzle board, it's meant for dogs, but I mean, I got the medium level because I was like, I think any of my animals could get the easy level, to be honest. But I got the medium level and she loves it. There she goes with the paw, swipes the lid across, and out comes the treat, and she eats it, and then she does it for the next one. It's lovely, and she purrs through the whole thing every time. She has the whole room to herself, and it's still sectioned off for when I wash my dog or wash my nanny's dog. I'm not getting into dog grooming. I don't think I ever will. Many reasons for that, and also one of the main reasons for it though is I do suffer with dermatitis on my hands. It's just not fair to my hands to keep, even if I wear gloves, I still have to wash my hands after I wear the gloves, and it's just a constant amount of friction on my hands that I'm just not making my hands better if I keep doing that. So it's never going to be an option for me, which is fair. There's many there's many animal jobs I still want to get into in the future, and where I can probably be able to see guinea pigs again and rabbits again and all, but where that commitment of owning them full time won't be there, which is something that clearly does not suit for me. In the future, if I decide to foster, that might be an option. Helping out a rescue nearby, brilliant. I might give that a go when I'm in the right setup and mindset again. But I definitely don't think owning them is ever going to be a thing for me, because it's just this is twice has happened and it has not worked. So yeah, so as of right now, it's still going to be an animal channel. I mean, it's going to be based on my hamster and my cat. There'll be little videos on witchcraft, maybe, if that's an interest to anyone. Obviously, I don't need to do any videos if no one's interested. And I'll show you updates on different collections that I do have, that if you want that as well. But if I do happen to make the decision to go on a holiday, which I am saving up for, I like to go with one with my sister, just the two of us, because I usually go with a family. So it'd be nice to kind of travel nearly alone, but still have a sister with me. Because going alone is quite daunting, but I'd like to be able to do it, kind of. So going with my sister is probably the next best thing to going alone. I could probably document some of that too, if that's obviously that's what's, you know, if you want to see that. But yeah, just flies, this is basically half an hour long. Oops. So yeah, I'll see you in my next video. I'll definitely be recording next weekend. I'm working Sunday, but I'm off Saturday, so off Friday and Saturday, so I'll be able to put up a video up as normal. I know today is Monday, so there'll be another one close enough to this video at the end of the week, but I want to get back into that routine of my videos. So I don't know what my video for next week will be, but yeah, hopefully no one's upset over my situation. It just works for me right now, and I think it'll always work for me. I don't think I can go back as much as it pains, but you know, I gave them the best life when I housed them, and where they're going to now is people who took the guinea pigs. They have loads and loads of guinea pigs that free roam a room in their house. Mainly female. They have a couple of males that are separate. They also bring them to guinea pig shows. They dress them up and they compete them and show them. Or not competing, like racing them, sorry, but like showing them for looks and all that kind of stuff and winning little rosettes. So that's amazing. And like I said, the bunnies, they're being spoiled rotten. But yeah. Yeah, so anyway, sorry for this very sad news of this video, but in order for me to move forward and really do what will accommodate me the best, I have to come to terms with a lot of things that are very hard for me to come to terms with, but I have to. But yeah, sorry for that. I hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it wasn't too long for you to sit through. I don't know if it is though. Ooh. But yeah, I'll see you in my next video, hopefully by the end of next week, and I'll be back to regularly posting. But yeah, see you in my next video. Bye. So I thought I'd show you a little overview over my hamster bear's cage. I'll show a little end clip at the end of this as well of my cat Belle. I'm probably going to do the video tonight when she's coming into bed, and I'll show a little clip of her playing with her little playboard with her treats in it. But here is the overview over the enclosure. So from this side on is all the sand, which is the play sand that I get in my local toy shop. He has a wooden wheel, which he loves. The camera is right there, so I get to see him on the wheel every night. He has a little bowl of birchwood chips that I've heard of a couple of nights now chewing on it, which is great. I've heard certain crystals are safe, so they're mainly big ones, and it's mainly rose quartz and clear quartz. They're all the natural ones. They're all from a natural crystal shop, so they're not fake. There's no dyes on them or nothing, and I have sanitized them. He's a little wooden stick there as well. I put a little willow tunnel going in here into his bedding, which he sometimes, I don't think he actually digs down into it, but he just kind of sits there on the edge just to kind of as an added shelter. Little bendy bridge to come up into the bedding. So this is the main substrate that I have. So obviously it's very, very high, as you can see. I got that on IKEA. I think it's meant to be a plant pot. Put that on the side, so a cute little shelter. Kind of hard to find big enough things for my big boy, but I think that works really, really well. Sorry, probably kind of hard to see it through the glass, so I'll try to put it in this way. So this is a little house here, which the big massive mess there, that's where he is right now. He's down in there. That's his little burrow. He's a ceramic little hide. That's the small animal. What brand is that? I think that's the Burgese XL hay bale with forage mix on top. I just leave it there, first for decoration and second for nesting material he sometimes takes from it. That is a reptile large wooden tunnel kind of thing. He mainly climbs over it as he doesn't really go under it really much. Another little platform I got from Amazon, nice little table, and his bowl of water, which he loves drinking from. Another thing I got from Amazon, which is a little multi-chamber. It's only just a small one. And underneath that then is the tunnel, which I don't think I've ever seen him use. I think he's gone into it once, but I have it down there just in case. And then other new thing I got yesterday along with that pot is the dig box. I'm trying to get a better view of this. I'm probably going to drop everything that's on the lid, so I probably won't risk it. But as you can see, yeah, it's just reptile cocoa soil. I had a big massive bag of dried leaves. You can see I actually have live mealworms in the soil, so he gets to kind of eat them whenever he wants to. I have a millet spray looking a little bit flat. And there's bits of flour forage and all that mixed up through it as well, which he really did enjoy last night. So yeah, that is basically his setup. He does love it. I've never seen any stress behaviors out of him. But I do like to rotate things around anyway, which he's maybe known a few times that, like, okay, you know, I need to stop moving things around because you know he likes everything being the same for the moment. He likes his natural he likes his routine, like myself. So I do love going to shops and picking up new things for him, which is great. But yeah, I like to add in more substrates once I get my hands on more. I do have like tissue paper I put in there sometimes. I have safe hamster nesting material. Like I said, I have wood chips, sand, his main bedding, moss, leaves, soil. There's loads in there that he can get to interact with. So yeah, that's basically, and loads of wooden shoes. So that's basically it. That's my little container for underneath that I house all his bits and bobs. So I do love the Burgess Excel stuff. It's amazing. Little wooden shoes, dried mealworms. At the minute, I'm using live ones because I didn't actually realize he loves it much more, and I've heard it's higher in protein than dried ones. He loves those science selective hoops. That's my way of bonding with him. I have my little sieve and dustpan right there. I don't know where I got that dustpan, but for ages I never used it because it was so small. But for a hamster, it's amazing. And yeah, more nesting material there and everything else. So I could probably do a video in the future if I ever go off and buy things for him. I can do a video of me buying him things, which would be a good idea. I have to get his food from a different county. It's not that far away from me, but my pet shop that I work in, we only have the one in our county, and it's not the best of hamster food. So I do go out and travel and get his food elsewhere. But my jar is full of it, so I don't need any more at the minute. But yeah, I have spare little bowls. There could be other substrate dishes. I think they're really, really cute. That's there for whenever I do a bit of interaction with him, a supervised playtime with him. He gets into this little bed. I think it was from like Shein. Like I said, it's only for supervised because they can pull the material out of that, which is a choking hazard. It can tangle under limbs. It's very, very dangerous. So that's only there for supervised time. But I think it's kind of cute decoration anyway, as well as that. And right here then is, there are the little sprouts coming up. So I watered that with a little spray. And yeah, wait for that to grow really, really tall, and I'll be able to put that in with him. And then here then he has a little pink playpen for when I had the guinea pigs. He has a little pet carrier. He has a bendy bridge, big large one in there. There's one or two other hides in there that doesn't fit at the minute in there. So I kind of rotate them out. And yeah, that is himself that I'm obsessed with. That is 120 by 50 centimeter enclosure. So it's about 800 square inches of floor space, I think. I think it's probably the high end of 800. I can't remember the exact figure. I don't think it's 900, but it's like 880 or something. It's quite high up there. So yeah, which obviously you need loads of space. Even if it's not a Syrian, you also always need larger space. But especially a Syrian, and especially female Syrians, I've heard so many stories of them needing such a big enclosure because they're very needy females. But my fella's only a male, so, and he's doing amazing. So yeah, I'll show you then a clip after this then of my cat Belle having her treats in her little playboard. But yeah, I'll leave it here because I'm just going to keep rambling. Did you get it? Well done. Get the rest of them.